towards opposition to gay marriage. He is as hostile to gay marriage as he is to women's reproductive choice.
And I do want to remind my colleagues on the other side of the dais that they tossed away the advice and consent responsibility, and not once, not twice, but 3 times, the Biden administration overrode Senator Hagerty and I, and you all sat there and never said a word.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm breaking down a fiery Senate Judiciary Committee moment where Senator Marsha Blackburn didn't hold back. Democrats were furious about judicial nominations moving forward without the traditional blue slip process, but Blackburn snapped back with a line that had the whole room buzzing. You all sat there and never said a word. Let's get into what went down.
Have informed the White House that Mr. Tung would be an unacceptable nominee. And we did put forward other candidates, Republican candidates, including some who had been previously nominated by President Trump for district court judgeships. We took this matter and our responsibility seriously, and we worked hard to put forward nominees who were qualified that we hoped the White House would consider. But instead, the White House chose not to respect that genuine outreach and effort at consultation with us on this particular vacancy. And so we've seen it time and again, unfortunately. President Trump's picks have staffed the Department of Justice, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's offices, and now the federal bench. And I simply cannot support this nomination, urge you to oppose it as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to briefly join my colleague, Senator Padilla, and express my opposition to the nomination for much the same reasons as my colleague expressed. I would add that in our discussion during the confirmation hearing of his views of the Dobbs decision and the potential impacts on a whole range of other due process issues that are likely to face the courts, I found his views well outside the mainstream and to be very extreme, and it's not something that I could support, and for that reason, among others, I would urge a no vote on this nomination. Neither Senator Padilla nor I willing to return blue slips on this nominee, and I join my colleagues who have expressed concerns about the practice in the committee now of going forward with nominees when both home state senators object to the nomination of a court of appeals judge. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Senator. The nomination will be favorably reported. Now we take up David Donovan.
Mr. Chairman.
U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to speak on him for just a moment. And I do want to remind my colleagues on the other side of the dais that they tossed away the advice and consent responsibility, and not once, not twice, but 3 times, the Biden administration overrode Senator Hagerty and I, and you all sat there and never said a word. Senator Tillis had the same situation. On Mr. Donovan's nomination, he is an experienced prosecutor. He knows the job. He has previously served in this position, and he was confirmed unanimously by the Senate in 2017. Under his leadership, violent crime decreased in Memphis 13%, and during his tenure, he increased the number of federal firearms cases filed in the district by 58%. He led the Project Safe Neighborhoods Task Force in Memphis, and we all know the FBI and DOJ have worked with us to address the crime issues in Memphis. I urge a yes vote on his nomination.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Cornyn?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Mr. Cruz?
Aye.
So here's the background. The blue slip tradition gave home state senators the power to sign off, or block, judicial nominees from their state. For decades, it was considered a courtesy, a way of respecting local input. But when Republicans removed that courtesy for circuit court nominees, Democrats warned it would come back to haunt them. And now those chickens are coming home to roost. First up was Joshua Dunlap, nominated to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. One of Maine's senators supported him, but Senator King did not. Dunlap's record includes strong anti-abortion views and opposition to same-sex marriage, positions Democrats say make him too extreme for the bench. Despite all that, his nomination advanced, mostly along party lines. This is where I step in with Blackburn's big moment. Democrats started complaining about the unfairness of ignoring blue slips, and Blackburn came out swinging. She reminded them that under the Biden administration, Republican senators were ignored on nominees for U.S. attorneys. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And as she put it, you all sat there and never said a word. That line hit hard, and it made clear she wasn't about to show any pity. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want more straight-to-the-point political coverage, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Next came the nomination of Mr. Tung to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Both California Senators Padilla and Schiff opposed him, calling out his extreme ideology, sexist remarks, anti-labor stance, and lack of courtroom experience. They flat out refused to return their blue slips, but once again, the committee advanced the nomination anyway, and that only fueled the tension. Finally, we got to David Donovan for U.S. Attorney in Tennessee. This one wasn't nearly as controversial. He had already served in the role before, brought down violent crime in Memphis, and was confirmed unanimously in the past. Still, Blackburn circled back to hammer home her point. Democrats had no problem tossing aside Republican input before, so she had no patience for their outrage now. At the end of the day, this whole exchange showed just how broken the blue slip tradition has become. Once a powerful courtesy, now just another partisan weapon. Blackburn's blunt reminder, "You all sat there and never said a word," summed up the frustration on her side. And with more nominations ahead, you can bet these fights are only going to get hotter.
Membership? Our membership is on the way.
Mr. Chairman, it might be convenient to
Go
the
ahead,
committee if I
Senator
were to
Whitehouse.
speak for a few minutes with
Yes,
respect
please
to
do.
a nominee, Joshua Dunlap, who we will be considering today. He's a nominee to the First Circuit Court of Appeals, which includes Rhode Island. We've had a good record, particularly working with Senator Graham when he was in your chair, sir, of working effectively on First Circuit nominees. In this case, this is a nominee who is only supported by one of Maine's 2 senators. Senator King has not supported this nominee, and that puts us back in the position we've been in for some time, which relates to the Republican side of this committee's decision to blow up the blue slip for circuit court nominees. When that happened, I over and over again, as I think you'll recall, Senator Grassley, expressed my warning that this was going to be bad for the committee and bad for the Senate, and that when the shoe was on the other foot and we applied the same new rule that Republicans had created, there would be anger and frustration on the Republican side. And indeed, we have seen that anger and frustration on the Republican side when the rule that Republicans created, that the blue slip would no longer matter for circuit court appointees, was then applied against those who broke the rule in the first place. So that is one aspect of why I'll be opposing Mr. Dunlap. The other reason to oppose Mr. Dunlap is that this individual is virulently anti-choice, to the point of having supported a wrongful death cause of action for a death of an unborn child, presenting the prospect of actually criminalizing abortion procedures. I won't go on at length, but he has a considerable record that puts him as an ideologically anti-choice individual, which is fine under the First Amendment, but it raises questions about whether he'll be fair as a judge. His views are so virulent that they likely extend towards pushing the Dobbs analysis that undid Roe versus Wade